Okay, so the first one we just been through, way to get appointments with clients and find out when the roles are open. Second one, you can use an automated huge one-to-many fashion. So let's say, you know, for example, in your niche, there are 10,000 fintech decision makers and there are 10,000 fintech talent acquisition leaders who are in your market. Alfie, come on, boy. My apologies if you listen to some iTunes. My little dog is running around. Come on. So number two, you then have a target of 20,000. You could even use pay-per-click. You could use social media advertising for this, LinkedIn events, all sorts. If you have a thought leader webinar, so we call it a Maven webinar, and on that webinar, say for example, you've got 3 thought leaders in fintech covering the biggest problem right now in fintech, biggest problem for your decision makers in fintech. You host a webinar, and pre the webinar, you have a mini survey of sorts. On that survey, you ask them to complete a registration. But part of that, there'll be between 9 and 12 questions. And part of those are under the radar ninja questions that essentially ask when the project start, when is budget being released, etc. The other questions are around the actual webinar itself, around the thought leader and topics that they want. It's that second way. So you can run that in a fashion. Ideally, you want to have it templated, so you know each time you run it, you're going to get, for example, with the invite, you get a 70% open rate, you get a 20% click-through rate, you get a 50% registration rate on the landing page, which means very quickly you can predict you're going to be getting 100%. Oi, Alfie! You get 100 responses each time you run it. And let's say half of those have got details we re-budget, you know where to focus your time, as opposed to just throw shit against the wall and treat every lead the same. That's the second one. And a third one. In fact, let me come back to you on this, 1 second.